Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Ross Merriam, and today, continuing standard with Aether Revolt, I've got another deck list from the Open in Atlanta, like I did last Friday. This is a just pretty classic mid-range deck. It's straight black-white, so you just a lot of very good cards. Cast out his great new removal spell, Draven Inspector Gideon. Just going to try to value our opponent with great cards. And they have mulligan to 6. We're definitely going to keep this hand. Going to need to draw some lands, but can crack some clues to do that. Maybe even cycle his cast out. And our opponent has mulligan to 5, so that's great. We might not even need all our cards. Likely to keep this. We'll see how they scry, and then they scry to the bottom. Perfect. They are on the play. And ooh, another black-white. Maybe a Mardu strategy. Another Inspector means I definitely want to draw a white mana soon. And no second land. Perfect. Well, this will probably be an easy one. Guess I had no reason to correct the clue right now. But we will attack for 1. And get another land. Nope. Well, sometimes they're easy. Although, sort of an awkward land to draw, but I'll take it, especially with what our opponent's up to on the other side. I think I'm going to play the Harvester here, just try to get more pressure. Then next turn we can go with Raven Inspector, crack clue, attack for 4, or maybe draw planes. Yeah, no planes for us, but we will gladly keep attacking. Crew 1. And mush ya. No need to gain some life. Did not find the 4th land, but I think we'll take this one in pretty easily. Even if our opponent hits the second land here, yeah, apparently they didn't. Just fallen too far behind. Weren't even going to hit it, but doesn't matter. A little surprised not to see, I guess, I was going to say a little surprised not to see copies of Sorin. There's one on the sideboard, but I could see playing more playing one in the main. Got a lot of options. Not really sure what our opponent's up to. They strategically conceded before they would show us anything but the concealed courtyard. I guess I should just assume that they're Mardu. It's probably the most likely scenario. Not sure what that means for how we sideboard. I kind of like this Noxious Gearhulk. If they board into a Planeswalker heavy deck, then I like this Never to Return. I definitely like this Linvala. Kind of like this Angel of Sanctions. Not really, though. Matches up so poorly against Avacyn, but that's about it. Do I like Declaration? Also probably not. I think our Fatal Pushes are good enough. One thing I like about this deck is how well it uses Dusted On, a card that has been impressive to me in early testing, but it doesn't really have a great home. And you see the early creatures here are selected to make Dusted On as good as possible with Walking Ballista, Gifted Aetherborn, and Thraben Inspector. So you get this nice little Wrath effect in your main deck that has a lot of built-in card advantage. I think I'm going to cut the Gonti. And maybe cut this Obnix list. We already have a good amount of high end, and I like this high end more. And since we're on the draw, I think I'll trim a Gideon. This is going to make our Oath of Liliana worse, but that's okay. And hopefully a better draw from our opponent in this game. Certainly a worse draw from us. The quality of this hand is really dependent on how good Dusted On will be. Not even sure how good it is against Mardu. It really depends on the build. If they have PNLR instead of Thalia, that's rough. It'll take out Scrap Heaps, which is not great material value, but usually good tempo. This card might just not be as good in the matchup. Maybe should have cut some of those. I think I'm going to mulligan this, though. This is a much better 6, even though we don't have white mana. I'm going to leave that on top. This gives us a second white for Avacyn. We already have things to do early. And, well, our opponent is not playing Mardu. Well, they have turn 1 Blooming Marsh. Not super surprised to see some kooky decks going on. Maybe an Abzan Delirium strategy. And, either way, I'll just get this Ballistin down. Probably getting Fatal Pushed. Although, if they Fatal Push without a follow-up, we could Liliana Recurred immediately. It's bad against Quagmire, though, so probably not a line we'll take. The Lilianas get some extra value in this deck because you have so many split cards, so many Aftermath cards between Dust to Dawn and Never to Return. So you can frequently mill over spells with them. Oh, they've got something. Ronus, that is awkward. So if they untap and are able to play a 4-power creature, then they'll attack with a 3-power Ronus, and our Liliana will be on 1. I guess as long as it's not Bristling Hydra, we can hope to never to return it plus Liliana again. Then it's just going to die to Quagmire. I'm tempted to just recur Ballista, and then if it soaks up the 5 damage, sure. And if my opponent wants to spend their entire turn killing it with Quagmire, that is also fine. I really want to get to Avacyn range. Ooh, Noxious Gearhulk. Well, that's pretty cool. Given that I'm planning to go Never to Return into Avacyn, I can just Gearhulk on 6 then. So let's return the Gearhulk. Let's see how that works out. So Ronus might be an issue. Definitely going to be bringing in the Anguished Unmaking if we go to a game 3. Okay. So my Liliana is going to stay on the battlefield. Not bad. But Conti is definitely good against us. I guess it's fine for us to just play Inspector, crack a clue, and plus on the Gonti. So no need to use this Never to Return. If we hit Fatal Push, then all the better. Gonti's another card that's going to make our Dust to Dawns worse, but if our opponent is a green-black deck, then Dust to Dawn is going to be great against them if their Verter's Gearhulking. I'm starting to think that maybe I just saw their turn 1 play in game 1 incorrectly. I'm just misremembering it. I swear they played a Concealed Courtyard, but they just look like a regular green-black deck. Okay, I talked about them being Mardu. Am I just losing my mind here? Yeah, Snake is good. Rishkar here would be rough. I'm going to let this resolve and make them make their decisions before I crack this clue. But yeah, that was a good one. That is weird. I would have assumed that they would target Gonti and Ronus so that they could guarantee kill my Liliana, but... Or, I mean, not Gonti, but Gonti and one of these things. But I guess, yeah, that doesn't do it through a removal spell. Well, I guess we have Cast Out for the Ronus, so that's not bad. There's a question of whether or not I want to let this Liliana die. Um, hmm. I could chump block and essentially get back a Walking Ballista next turn, which isn't bad, but it's certainly dying the turn after. Not sure what I'm doing. I guess I could Avacyn. I get a free block with the Inspector, and then get to eat Gaunty or Rishgar. Probably Rishgar. And if I do block with the Inspector here, I sort of tie up a lot of my opponent's turn combat trying to deal with this Liliana if they want to. I think I'll take the block actually. I think blocking here is actually better than the free block next turn. And now, yeah. Hmm. Guess I could have also recurred the Thraben Inspector, but I just want to buy myself time here. I have a bunch of good spells already in my hand. I can Avacyn down this Rishgar, then cast out the Ronus and never to return the Winding Constrictor. Maybe trade Avacyn with the Gaunty, and then generally be okay. All at me. Interesting. Well, this Avacyn might be meeting a removal spell, which would be rough. We'll take 13, but opponent down to one card in hand. I'm going to take my shot with Avacyn when I can. Okay, well, they're letting us block. Great. I will eat your Avacyn and take 9. Now we got tap with a Liliana, too. Oh, thought it said that I was being attacked. Oh, Rishgar and Winding Constrictor, and then this was attacking me. Okay, I misread that. That's fine though. I'm fine throwing away the Liliana. Further Gear Hulk is very good. You know what would be a good draw here is Dusk. Dusk would be a good draw. Yeah, everything gets gigantic because of Constrictor. You've really been needing to draw lands. So let's say I Thraben Inspector plus cast out, and then hope to draw a land. I land at a Gearhulk, which would be great. Thing is, Thraben Inspector plus cast out on Ronus. Inspector chumps the Constrictor. I take 10. And then I flip Avacyn. Then Avacyn can trade for Verdurous Gearhulk. And then if I hit Noxious Gearhulk, kills Constrictor, trades for Gaunty, and I'm in very good shape from there. So I like that. I'm going to cast out now, just so my opponent doesn't use Ronus to pump. I guess I'm using my last energy here, so Dusk to Dawn is no longer a good draw, but gotta play the cards you have. Okay. And we'll attack for 4. There's a small chance we can win this race here. Opponent's going to go to 15 and then exactly 12 next turn. And then 6 when we attack, so we only have to survive one more turn. But definitely going to need our opponent to brick. Any sort of removal spell here. Although small creatures are bad too, fortunately. Like any additional constrictor or something that our opponent would play, we'll just get caught up in the Avacyn trigger. That's nice. They did not attack with Quagmire, which is interesting, nor did they cast a removal spell. So I'm wondering what they drew, but not going to change my play. We do see a white source here, so I'm not crazy. They are splashing white for something. What could it be? Land one time, please. I think Fatal Push might be good enough too. Ugh. Oh man. Yeah, that's real good. I guess they should have done that before combat, but Gifted Aetherborn is an interesting draw. I Oath of Liliana, and they sacrifice Gonti, and play Gifted Aetherborn, and then I can't attack with Avacyn. Aetherborn blocks Constrictor. I take, I go up to 8, but I take 7 from this, go to 1, and then the Quagmire will do me in, bring me to exactly -2, which is unfortunate. But I guess Avacyn can just trade for the Quagmire. Oath kills here, Aetherborn kills here, and I end up at 1. And then I have never, at least for the Gear Hulk, or potentially my own Noxious Gear Hulk. So still a fine draw. I guess if my opponent sacrifices anything other than Gonti, then I'm very happy. So easy Avacyn can trade for Gonti. Yep. Okay, one good brick from our opponent, and maybe we have a shot. Man. We return this Gear Hulk on turn 3, which has never found land 6 for it. Might do us in. Kind of interesting my opponent decided to Emblem. I think that they thought the Avacyn was just going to kill their Gideon, but getting the blocker out of the way is valuable, and you make another 2/2. That might be something they come to regret. They're casting another Gear Hulk. Oh, that'll do it. Yeah, they just kill our Gifted Aetherborn, and then we're dead. No bricks from our opponent. And on to game 3. Okay, well, now we know Gonti is great. I think the Never to Returns are too inefficient here. I actually want my my declarations. And I like Angel of Sanctions in this matchup. I think it's better than Avacyn against a Grasp of Darkness deck. I actually want to cut Avacyn. I think Sorin's good. Like Anguished Unmaking. Not sure how much I like Kalitas. Maybe Kalitas is the card I want to cut, and then have the Obnixilis. I just want as much removal, basically, as I can get. Let's see how this looks. This looks pretty good. I still have a Gideon in the sideboard, which I guess is weird. I kind of want all the Gideons on the play, but maybe not in this matchup where I'm where I'm really trying to play a control role. Actually, you know what? These Lilianas aren't as good in this matchup, and this Descend is another card I want. So let's cut the Lilianas and play all 4 Gideons on the play. That looks good to me. These look like some of our worst cards on the sideboard. If our opponent does have some Planeswalkers, we do still have 2 cast outs and Anguished Unmaking and Angel of Sanctions, ways to deal with them. So I'm not super concerned about Planeswalkers after cutting these, so looks good to me. Secondly is 24 lands. That is an issue. I would add, and here it is. Definitely an issue. I would be playing certainly 25, probably 26 in this deck. Well, this is definitely a keep. We do have Dusk, so we'll see how much value these Thraben Inspectors give us. Opponent mulls to 6 as well, so that's kind of nice. I don't think I want another land. Yeah, let's bottom that. And our opponent scries to the top. So I will play Thraben Inspector. I'll probably go Evolving Wilds next turn plus Thraben Inspector and get a swamp that way. Wonder what they're splashing for. Well, with Oath, they're probably splashing for a Planeswalker, I guess. Maybe Sorin. Take a Blooming Marsh off that Oath. Is our Anguished Unmaking? Its ears were burning. But smash ya as I try to come up with a weird onomatopoeia for that attack. Kind of want to see. I was gonna say I kind of want to see Winding Constructor here. The first time anyone said that. That one is one I actually didn't want to see. I really don't want Anguished Unmaking it. I think I'm just gonna crack a Clue, but I'll do it end step. The only card I could draw that I want to cast is another Inspector, and I might want to Unmaking. I don't want to. Certainly don't want to Unmaking this, even though it's a mana creature. If our opponent has a Planeswalker, I'd much rather save this. What do you got? Gross. Splashing for Fateful Truths. That was... Man. These are pretty close to worst possibles with the way our draw is shaping up. But... Play some big creatures, please. Could crack the Clue now, and I guess we could leave double black up in case we get Gifted Aetherborn, but I still want to leave up the Unmaking. Plus, if we get Gaunted here, I might be able to hit Fatal Push off this Clue. I guess Fatal Push is another reason to sack Clue last turn, too. I said just Thraben Inspector is also push. Oh, no. Yeah, you got it. Man. They were really getting us. This draw matches up a lot better against their game 2 draw. And does not match up nearly as well against their game 3 draw. And now they know about this card too. Also kind of rough. Wondering, so if they're contemplating leaving us with the Unmaking and just taking Dusk Dawn, it has to be good against the rest of their hand. If Dusk Dawns were bad, they would snap off the Unmaking. They had some sort of Planeswalker here, Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, something like that. They might just be thinking about how they're going to play through this. Okay, well, they took the Unmaking. And we really need to see something big here. If our Clue and our draw step just not generating a lot of traction right now. Ob Nixilis would be great. That would be great. Maybe I should have Liliana in my deck too. Not sure. It's easy to go really overboard with your big spells. I didn't want to do that against a deck that can so easily run you over. I hope their hand is a lot of Rishkars. Lots and lots of Rishkars. Yeah, not doing anything. I think they're probably going to try to resolve some threat this is good against, or measure their threats in some way. Well, those were two very good draws, so happy about that. I can Angel of Sanctions the Servant or just land Gideon, and I can't imagine Gideon is not the right play. Have you read this card? Do you know what this card does? It does everything. Everything a Magic card could possibly do. Gideon. Make und tutu. Pass the turn. Our opponent's going to have an answer to this, or they're going to have to play into it, and that plays straight into our Dusk. Like most cards, Dust to Dawn plays very well with Gideon. Oh man, they were splashing Gideon. Our opponent's a crazy person. It's just Oath. Oath and White Sources is all they need. So, I am inclined to first attack with Knight and Gideon towards their Gideon. Certainly get a chump block, and then play Angel of Sanctions on Servant. So why don't we do that? It's plus, or not Angel of Sanctions on Servant. Sorry. I guess I could Angel pre-combat on Servant, or maybe just on Knight. So when Angel dies, I don't get anything back, and attack with everything towards Gideon. They would be left with a Servant, but I have an Angel back to block it, and my Gideon's on 5 anyway. So even if they had some 2-mana, if they had land, Grasp of Darkness, your Angel of Sanctions, activate Quagmire, they'd still only attack Gideon for 4. And I just get some free value, and it lets me more readily Dusk without giving them anything back afterwards. Yeah, I like this. Angel of Sanctions. Little Amonkhet action. Let's take that Knight, please. Yeah, I would like to use Angel of Sanctions ability, actually. All at Gideon. Her opponent tried to get fancy and set up their Gideon against my Dustodons. Got blown up by my Gideon. Welcome to Standard. That is a strange block if I've ever seen one. Oh no! I forgot there's. God, I gotta start playing better in these videos, man. Oh no. Oh god, now I F6 in my turn, didn't play my land. No, they just have a removal spell for my Angel of Sanctions and kill my Gideon. This is a disaster. Yep, a giant disaster. At least I get to exile I get to embalm the Angel and get rid of the Gideon. But yeah, we screwed this one up. Tried to get fancy. Didn't play around Fatal Push. Sweet, we have another Gideon. Let's embalm, but our opponent just has a removal spell for this Angel. We're in rough shape. Yep. Obnixilus. If they had a removal spell, I don't think they would have used Obnixilus though. So I'm at least have some confidence here that we haven't completely bungled things. And a one-turn reprieve to let us Arland our second Gideon is probably all we need. So we have multiple reasons to be optimistic here. Okay, okay. Take that. I'll take that for sure. That's another fine draw. Let's mush for 3. And we have managed to succeed despite our gross incompetence. That's always a nice. Sort of the American way. Play this one. Play this one. Make 2/2. And now we are in great shape. These Dustodons I thought were going to be great, but our opponent has played nothing but Planeswalkers and discard and card draw spells. I guess this is where we get Verdurous Gearhulked. And they just kill our Gideon with Walking Ballista. That's definitely a thing. Definitely a thing. And then we can't really kill Gideon after dusking. If that is indeed their play, they'll be left with a Ballista on 2. It's basically Verdurous Gearhulk comes into play and kills Gideon. As a 4/4. I can dusk, my Angel dies, the Gearhulk dies, they get Gideon on 4. If I attack with everything, Walking Ballista blocks Gifted Aetherborn that shoots down the Knight before damage, and their Gideon will be on 2. So that is not ideal. But our opponent is pausing, so once again I have some hope. Hope springs eternal. If I just angeled normally, didn't let them kill my first Gideon. I guess I still wouldn't be in a commanding lead in this game. I just have a Gideon backup, which is don't get me wrong, that is a thing. Very much a thing. What could they be thinking about here? Oh, I didn't realize Embalm had that rider on it, that the tokens don't have mana cost. I thought it was just a copy, so it would have CMC5. Well, that's bad news for us. Very much bad news. Yeah. Getting our 5 or 6 mana play fatal pushed is not great. Wow. I guess we have Gideon attacking that as a thing. Man, I keep missing stuff. Well, they have a backup Gideon now. If I attack with everything, then Ballista blocks Gideon, shoots Knight. Knight eats Inspector. Their Gideon goes to 1. And they have a Knight plus a Gideon. That's not good, because my Gideon then is very likely to die. So the next best attack is just Gideon and Gifted Aetherborn. I guess I can also attack with Knight. Yeah, I think I should attack with all 3. And this forces the ballista to do something. Getting the ballista off the table is very, very good against potential Verdurous Gearhulks. But I'm not killing Gideon anyway, so I don't think there's any reason to sacrifice an Inspector. My guess is this is just Ballista on Gideon, shoot down Knight. There, Gideon goes to 2. We're in a weird game now. Got to figure these Dust Dawns are eventually going to do something great, especially now that the Angel's out of the way. None of my creatures are big enough to die to it. Yep. And our opponent is also at 9, so they have to worry about their life total. It's possible that we just don't use these Dusks and Emblem Gideon to get in a bunch of damage. Getting the Thraben Inspectors above Knight Ally range is also nice. Guess we can F6. Our opponent knows the 2 cards in our hand. They have 5 cards. That's so many. So many cards. Yeah, they're just turtling up. And stop having all your cheap creatures. Yeah, I mean, we saw this we saw a lot of big things in the other games, right? Right? I thought we did. Now, our opponent has 4 blockers. So say I -4 my Gideon and attack with everything. They can block it all, or they just let their Gideon die because they have another one, and then have a bunch of attackers towards mine. So I don't think I can Emblem Gideon. But I can pop a clue. It's not a bad one. So maybe I'm supposed to... Maybe this turn I'm supposed to just start pumping out Knights because they're leaving their Gideon on 2 rather than attacking with mine. No, I kind of like attacking it. It's sort of like they make a Knight and then block with it, rather than me making a Knight. And I just keep gaining loyalty this way. So eventually I might be able to safely Emblem. They might, and what happened? Yeah, I guess they could just let their Gideon die here. Untap, play another Gideon, like Emblem, and then try to kill mine. But that's fine. And if they don't Emblem, it's even easier. Is this a Quagmire trading with an Aetherborn? Yep. You might see Chump double block, single block, and trade for both Aetherborns. That would leave my opponent with so few resources. They might just want to make this trade normally, let their Gideon die and take the trade that I've offered them. That is another option. And Chump Gideon. Strange. So they're gonna, yeah, I think that was a misclick. Okay, well this is still strange to me. You make it difficult for you to kill my Gideon while letting yours die. Are they that concerned with gifted Aetherborns? Are they just going to try to make some big things? They know what my hand is. My hand is very good against big things. I know they have another Gideon. Their clock is all that, man. This is like the first time I'm way far ahead on the clock. Normally I'm the one really far behind, but this deep into game 3, 5 minutes is plenty. Not going to be too worried about that. Although, who knows? We could get a really grindy game here. I have a bunch of grindy cards left in my hand, but if our opponent stabilizes and forces me to start spending turns not affecting the board and recouping my creatures, yeah, don't think this Gideon's going to be very good. I guess actually it is pretty good. Land would be nice. Oh, I already have 6 mana. Can't count. That's fine. But Walking Ballista is also great. So if I attack with everything at Gideon, Gideon will go to 2. I assume my opponent just eats an Inspector, chumps Gideon, and lets their Gideon go to 2. And then my Ballista will finish it off. And if they do have another Fatal Push, then my Ballista dies, but I'll have a Gideon on 7. They'll only have Quagmire Servant. Even if they play Verdurous Gearhulk, the Servant's only a 6. So, yeah, I like this. I think this is better than Gearhulk. I guess they could also just let their Gideon die again. But then I just play Ballista on 3 and pass and play defense. Boom. Walking Ballista. Now we are in great shape. Redirect. Redirect. I could kill the Servant here at the cost of my Ballista, but that seems unnecessary. Still a lot of loyalty counters for Gideon. Normally you don't see it get that quite that high. What do you have left? Gotta have big creatures eventually. Your own Walking Ballista that you've decided to play for 2. Okay. Ooh, that's another interesting one. So I can Gearhulk or play Blighted Fen. And I don't want to play Gearhulk beside these Dusks, but I'm basically killing my opponent, so... if I kill... There's... Yeah, let's just Gearhulk. I'll just kill the Servant and attack, and I don't really see what, I don't really see what our opponent does from there. I was trying to get fancy when I didn't really need to. Should have learned my lesson the first time I tried to do that, but slip up there, recovered. Never actually used the Dusks. Drew 2 of them there are from turn 3 or 4 and never actually cast them, which was very strange against that deck. They, I don't know if they boarded really differently for game 3 than their configuration for game 2, but the configuration for game 2 was very aggressive and creature dense, and game 3 it was not at all. So they did not look very good. Didn't really get to see them, but I sort of have to imagine that our opponent ending that game there with 4 or 5 cards in hand, he was probably had a hand filled with big creatures, and they just weren't. They just knew they weren't going to be good. So there's a good chance that if you saw that match from both sides, you would have seen Dusk actually look a lot more impressive than it did than just watching from my side. So hope you enjoyed that one, and you can come back and see me on Wednesday. Bye.